Okay, we are gonna do stair drop. And hopefully you watched the video on why this exercise is so valuable for so many different body parts. A couple quick points before we begin. Please always use the bottom step. It's kind of self-explanatory. You do not want to be up on a top step and slip and fall down. That would be bad. So bottom step for safety. I would prefer there be two handrails or a handrail and a wall. That is ideal, because if you can really hold on and just keep that upright vertical alignment on this exercise, and without holding on, you would be forced to lean forward, and that's not what so I don't want this on the exercise. I want this perfectly IPT posture alignment. We have an arch in the low back. The feet are going to be hip width and parallel. It's going to be so important when we drop the heels off the stair that they don't go in at all and that they don't go out. And in order for you to keep this perfect alignment, you're going to need to hold on. That this is going to lengthen the entire posterior fascial line. From the bottom of the foot to the top of your head, we can tease out a posterior, the back side fascial line. So we're really going to gain a lot of freedom with this. Let's get to it. So find the bumps in the front of your pelvis. You're going to line your feet up. The other thing I want to show you is that try to find your second toe through your shoe and imagine the base of that second toe through the middle of your ankle. It's between the second and third toe, straight back, and you want to keep that alignment. So if I step up, I can step fully on the stair, find my pelvis, pelvic bones, my shoulders. I want my feet that wide and parallel, not out even a bit, not in. Now I'm going to hold on, and I'm going to walk so that half of my foot is off the stair, but I'm not going down yet. And I do want to make sure I'm more on the balls of my feet. Okay. From here, I am going to straighten up. I need to make sure that this arch is here, so I'm going to tighten the front of my thighs. I'm not knee bent. You're going to straighten and lock out your knees. Keep the front of the thighs tight, the quadricep muscles, and you're up tall. Hopefully you're holding on both sides. And then keeping the front of the thighs tight the whole time, you're going to drop the heels down towards the floor. It's very important that you don't drop in and that you don't drop out. You don't want to roll your foot on the outside of the feet or collapse in. You want to make sure, let me reset, that you have even pressure from the first metatarsal, the first base of the toe, all the way across the fifth. You want those to stay even. So you're not rolling out, you're not rolling in, you're staying nice and straight on the ball of your foot. You're really aware of that big toe though. As you drop down, front of the thighs are tight, shoulders move away from one another towards opposite sides of the room. My chin is parallel to the ground. You don't want to be looking up. You don't want to be looking down. You can look down quickly to check your feet, but then come back to ideal alignment. Arch in the low back. Front of the thighs are still tight. I'm getting a wonderful stretch in the back of my calf. And that is all you're ever going to feel. Even though I'm lengthening up the hamstrings, I'm lengthening up the sacrotuberous ligament, I'm lengthening up my low back, and I'm lengthening all that fascia. Even though all that's happening, you're only going to ever feel your calves stretching. Now, if you look down at my feet, this position is ankle dorsiflexion. So remember I said, if you don't have enough ankle dorsiflexion, I'm turning to look at you. Don't do this when you're doing the exercise. And if you don't have enough ankle dorsiflexion and or your calves are tight, your low back often pays the price. The facet joints get jammed in walking. So this is very important exercise. So we're on the low back. I'm straight. My thighs, by the way, I've kept my quadriceps contracted, tight, pulling my kneecap up towards the ceiling this entire time. So I'm going to straighten back out. Another point, you want to make sure that your weight is equal on both feet. You don't want to be biased into the right leg, biased into the left. You really got to make sure you're even. That being said, you're going to feel this stretch usually in the beginning more on one leg. Your dominant leg, your stronger leg, is generally, not always, but generally tighter. So you might notice a right-left difference when you're coming down. So just try your best to feel the balls of the feet. Make sure you're even on both legs, both feet evenly. And what else? Knees. So the front of the thighs stay tight, knees are straight. Oh, and you saw that I was here, right? I'm staying up tall, not, let me get into the position, not doing this. A lot of people want to lean forward, I think, because if you're straight, if you're not holding on, you fall off. So because you really need to hold on to stay aligned vertically here, because your center of gravity is behind you, so you would naturally fall down, the tendency is for people to overcompensate and come forward. Don't let that happen. Just hold on strong. I'm only in one arm and I can do this. But of course, I've been doing it for many, many years because it just feels so, so good. So I think that's it. We'll do a quick version and or an addendum if I miss something. Enjoy.